Hey there everybody, my name is Warwick and welcome to Warwick Reviews, or in this case, Warwick Previews, although I won't change my name, it'll still be Warwick Reviews, but this is a preview. First of all, hi, hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate that. If you're new here, I do a lot of reviews and previews on video games, on products and all sorts. I'm sure you find something that you enjoy, and if you're coming back, thank you very much for coming back. But today, we're going to be checking out a preview of Onimusha, Way of the Sword. I was very lucky enough to be invited by Capcom Europe to their London offices earlier this month to check out a new preview of the game and just give you sort of my thoughts and feelings of the game or what I played so far. So, if you don't know, Onimusha is a long-running standing franchise from Capcom, which I'm sure they'll admit has been a bit stuck in limbo for the last, I think, about 20 years or so since the last sort of mainline game. It's been quite a while. I remember Onimusha Warlords on PS2 many years ago, as well as a sequel. And this is a brand new entry into the series. So, bringing in a new character called Miyamoto Musashi, who arrives in Kyoto, determined to take their next step in mastering the way of the sword and proving himself a warrior without equal. But if you know this franchise, or I guess any Capcom game, really think about it. I mean, you look at Resident Evil 2, Leon, his first day being a cop, goes to Raccoon City, things aren't going well. In Pragmatic, you got Hugh, who's just on a space mission and things don't go well. And Onimusha arriving to Kyoto, and yeah, things aren't going well because suddenly you are ambushed by these creatures, these monsters, but you are sort of given the power of the Oni, which is basically why the game's called Onimusha. So you sort of take the power of the Oni. And that's the unique part of this game and this franchise, where it's not just swinging your blades, although that is a big part of it. You also have this abilities where there's sort of arm guard, which gives you abilities, and of course there's a lot of like bringing souls and stuff. So that's basically the premise of the game, of the series as a whole. But obviously we're talking about Way of the Sword. And so for me, with this preview that I had in London offices, this continues from the public demo. So if you don't know, there's a public demo available on every console, I believe. It's on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and I think Switch too. It will be on all those consoles, but I'm not 100% sure if they are also available demos. But demos are definitely on the very least on PC. But anyway, this carries on from the demo. So from the demo, you get a bit of a taste of things, a bit of tutorial, and then you fight one of the enemies, which potentially is going to be a long-going enemy throughout the game. So with this preview, this new preview that we played, we continue that aspect. So we get to part of Kyoto, and we are asked basically, say, hey, these things are taking over part of our city. Are you able to help? You sort of got some nifty sort of gear on you. We can help you out if you help us out. So I spent my time sort of clearing out some of the areas of the various enemies, and also going sort of mini bosses throughout the game as well. So, and this is sort of the stuff that you've seen throughout the footage as we talk. So for me, I've played the original many years ago, but with Way of the Sword, I've actually had a few chances with the game. So I actually got a chance to check it out at Gamescom 2025, and then we had demo, and then this new preview. And I'm happy to say things are progressing really nicely with the game. It feels really good, really fluid. It looks fantastic. Like, some of the scenery in the game is breathtaking. Like, one of my worries originally, sort of playing the demos and stuff, was it seemed like the world, as while it was very cool and sort of like they've done a really great job, it did seem a bit samey. But I'm happy to say some of the areas in this latest preview are jaw-dropping. Like, it's fantastic how it works and plays into it. It's really nice to see. Combat-wise, as great as ever. You do have two options, so you can look like a story. So if you're not very skilled in the Way of the Sword, no pun intended. Actually, no, fully intended. You can go to story, or you can sort of action, where it's more about a bit more challenging. So you can play it however you want to play the game. But the battling, all the swords and stuff was really cool. There's some extra abilities. There's a bow and arrow later on that we got to check out, which is really cool. Sort of opens up part of the game. And utilising your skills and stuff, and realising that actually slashing only will get you so far. You know, it's about sort of timing your attacks, working out when to strike and when to defend, and using sort of the enemies to your benefit and stuff, which really pays off really well. One of the things that I love about this so far, or what I've noticed, especially with the original, is the original reminds me a lot of Resident Evil. and the way of the sword reminds me of Resident Evil as well. And it's really cool to see sort of parallels, even though they're almost like 20 years difference. So original sort of like back to like sort of Devil May Cry's, Onimusha's, Resident Evil's, they had a lot of like sort of pre-rendered backgrounds. Resident Evil was sort of pioneer of them, I would say, or the most well-known at least anyway. But Onimusha, Devil May Cry sort of used abilities and stuff, sort of used like a roaming camera, but still like baked in like backgrounds and stuff. And playing, I actually went back and played a bit in Onimusha, the first one again, which you see in here. And it was just really cool sort of looking at it and go, this is sort of like in the same engine of Resident Evil 2, for example. And then Way of the Sword with the RE engine, which I don't know what Capcom is putting into that engine, but keep feeding it because it's so versatile. It's incredible how well it does just with everything. And yeah, it's just great to see the engine sort of like see that sort of thing, like the fluidity and stuff, and like just it handles really well. And just I like the parallels of that, but that's more of a personal thing. Preview wise, had a great time. I had about 3 hours, 2.5 hours with the game. I did a lot of exploring, so there's a lot of like side quest things. So if you like sort of searching every sort of area, then you won't get disappointed. It felt like sort of semi-open world. So like with the area that I was in, I was able to explore where I wanted to. So there's like certain areas that you had to go or like to progress the story, but you could choose that at any point. And there's like some side quests that can like get abilities and stuff. And then once you start doing some of the sort of main stories, you start going with sort of the enemies, which I don't want to sort of spoil too much about. But I will say there's a big variety with the enemies. So one enemy is very different to another enemy, and you got a lot of trial and error. But for me, I felt like it wasn't hard for the sake of hard. It felt like, okay, I just need to learn their pattern, and I felt I got better each time. But yeah, had a great time. Really excited for this game. Cannot wait for September, which is scary to think about because I'm recording in August and it's only a month away. Where's the time gone? I do not know. And yeah, I'm really excited for people to check out the game. I'm really excited as well that it's on Switch 2. I am a huge supporter of Switch 2. I played Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata on that console, and I just love how much Capcom is investing in Switch 2 and bringing all these games from the get-go. It's really great to see. It's a great piece of kit, and I'm definitely going to check this out on Switch 2 when it comes out. I will say all the recording that you saw was on PlayStation 5 Pro. But that is it for me, I think. That's a nice little preview, just sort of my thoughts and feelings about the game and stuff. Showed sort of a bit more of the mechanics, like there's maps, there's like sort of save functions, and you can like upgrades and abilities and stuff. There's quite a lot of depth in there. But overall, fantastic time. Cannot wait for September. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that. Or listening. Again, my name is Warwick, and I don't just do reviews, although I do many reviews on my channel here, but also you'll probably find me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Warwick, and wherever you may find me. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Capcom Europe for the opportunity to check it out, and we'll see you, hopefully, very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.